Well, what's up guys? I thought I would do another video this evening. So I wanted to do another video talking about, kind of relates to the one that I did, earlier on today. Now, you guys would have, some of you guys probably would have seen the video I did this morning, talking about the Inham Girls Esme and Isabel, and I was saying that I feel that Chris and Sarah should private their social media accounts so that people can't post negative comments or anything like that on their videos. Because that's one thing that Chris and Sarah can't actually say, is that people don't post negative comments on Isabella and Esme's videos, because actually they do. What I wanted to do, what I wanted to say was that with that video I did earlier, I didn't want people to think that I was saying that that Isabella and Esme shouldn't have social media accounts, full stop. I was not in any way saying that, nor was I trying to imply that. I was absolutely not in any way saying that I think the girls shouldn't have Instagram social media accounts. I was just saying that I didn't particularly agree with the fact that a load of random people were allowed to access their accounts. I just think that their accounts should be privated so that only friends and family and people that they know can access them. I don't think it's a bad thing for anyone to say that. I think a lot of people would say that I would have that opinion. I think, I think any decent parent would do whatever they had to do to protect their kids, and if that means privating their social media accounts, then so be it. To be honest, I think that's something that Chris and Sarah probably should have done a very long time ago. They probably should have privated their account, their daughter's account, so that people, so that strange, random people can't access them. Because I just don't think that random people should be allowed to access their accounts. They should be privated so that they're only accessible to friends, family, people that they actually and people they know. I think you have to look at it more from a safety perspective, and you have to look at the positives of them privating its account. It would mean that creeps and child predators can access Isabella Esme's accounts. B, it would mean that people weren't able to post negative comments on either of their accounts, on videos posted on either of their accounts, should I say. I think there's more positives to privating their accounts than there are negatives. I think the positives, do outweigh the negatives in this. To be honest, I don't think there would really be a negative side to them privating Isabella and Esme's accounts. I think there's a lot of positives in that, and I think it would show that Chris and Sarah were willing to do the right thing and were willing to do the most responsible thing. I think. But there is no denying the fact that this is something they should have done a long time ago. As I said, I just wanted to make it abundantly clear that I wasn't trying to say that, that the girls shouldn't have social media accounts. As I'm aware that that's how it might have come across. I was a bit concerned, or I was a bit worried that it may have come across to people that I was trying to say that the girls shouldn't have social media accounts whatsoever. But I wasn't trying to say that, and I wasn't trying to imply that. What I was saying was that I think that they should have private social media accounts. And, I don't think that's a bad thing to say. I think any decent person would say that. It's, you just have to look at it, you have to look at the positives I'm not being funny, but how are they as parents so comfortable with a lot of complete random strangers accessing his social media, their daughter's social media accounts. You know, it should they should have their accounts privated so that only so that only friends, family, family members and people that they know can access them. Because I think that would be a lot safer. I'm not completely saying I'm not saying that Chris and Sarah should ban Adele from using social media whatsoever. Completely. I'm not saying that at all. Nor am I saying that Adele shouldn't be allowed social media accounts. Again, wasn't trying to say that. I wasn't trying to imply that. I just. This is something that has been, I think, playing on my mind a little bit for a while, and it's something that I guess I've been thinking about. Maybe I've been thinking that it maybe wouldn't be, maybe wouldn't necessarily be, a bad thing if they did private Isabel and Esme's social media accounts. I actually think that would be a good thing because, at least, as I think it would be safer if only friends and family and people they knew had access to their accounts, rather than a bunch of random people that they don't even know. Because I think that can lead to a lot of, I think that, them allowing random, all these random strangers to access their accounts can indeed lead to a lot of problems, and it can cause a lot of problems to arise. People post negative comments, people can post inappropriate comments, post comments that are of an inappropriate nature. And as I said, in the video I put out earlier, there is nothing preventing people from being able to do that. People are posting inappropriate comments and they probably get removed anyway by TikTok. But people still post on it and still post negative comments on their videos and stuff. There's nothing stopping people from being able to do that because their accounts are not private, so anyone who is out there, all of sundry, can access them. There's nothing stopping them from being able to do that. There's no, but at least if their accounts were privated, it would prevent random strangers from being allowed to come onto their, to watch their, to access their channel. At least if their videos were privated, they would know that the only people who are watching their videos or accessing their accounts are people that they know. Because, I just think that these days, I think, parents have to be very careful. And it's something that, this is definitely something that Chris and Sarah, should be thinking about. And to be honest with you, I'm quite surprised they haven't really thought about this. But I think the problem with Chris and Sarah is they would always try to see the negatives in their private his account. They would always see the negative side of it. They would always think there was a negative side to it, but there isn't. I think, if it comes to safety, and it comes to keeping them safe, maybe it's something they should do. Would Esme and Isabel really have an issue with their accounts being privated? Would they have a problem with that? Because they would still be able to access their accounts. It doesn't mean, their accounts being privated doesn't mean that they won't be able to access them. They will still be able to access them, and will still be able to upload content onto TikTok and Instagram as they are currently doing. But it would mean that, what it would mean essentially is that the only people that would be able to see what they're posting on, Instagram, TikTok, would be friends, family members, people that they know. It wouldn't be, they wouldn't have a load of random strangers, watching, accessing their accounts and things like that. It's, it's just one of those things. Like, obviously, as I said, I wasn't trying to come across, I wasn't trying to imply that, I had an issue with the girls, having social media accounts, because I don't have an issue with that. It's not that I'm not saying that I don't necessarily agree with them having social media accounts, because I don't. Because I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with them having social media accounts. But I just have that opinion that, so that maybe their social media accounts should be privated for safety, purely for safety reasons more than anything else. That's all it is. It's more for safety reasons than it is for anything else. But I think, you've got to look at it from, how we look at it, from how I look at it. I think, the way I'm looking at things is a very sensible way of looking at things. And it's something that people really need to be thinking about. But as I said, the positives of this far outweigh the negatives, with regards to privating their accounts. I think that, it would be better for the girls because at least they wouldn't have to deal with people, people posting negative comments and things like that on their accounts. If their accounts were privated, that's not something that they would have to worry about. They would be able to post whatever they wanted, and they wouldn't ever have to worry about people posting negative comments on what they post and things like that. And that's one of the positives to them privating their accounts. And but I think one of the main positives and one of the main reasons I think they should, and I think the whole negative comments thing is, for me, is the main reason why I think they should private their accounts so that people can't post negative comments on their accounts. And that sort of random strangers, can't access their accounts, because I just don't think that a lot of complete random strangers should be allowed to access their daughter's social media accounts. I think the only people that should be allowed to access their daughter's social media accounts are friends, family members, and people that they actually know. Not a load of complete random strangers they don't even know. That's just asking for problems. That's what I'm saying. But I hope you've enjoyed this little short video for today. That I just want to kind of clear that up a little bit, and I'll see you for another video soon. Bye bye.